After studying this module, you shall be able to know the need to understand mood disorders in context of elderly, learn various causes of mood disorders, identify the difference between the symptoms of mood disorders in elderly and early adults, and learn the diagnostic evaluation for the elderly. This module defines the mood disorders with reference to the elderly. The goal is to create an understanding of the basics of mood disorders in elderly so that they can diagnose it with minimum error, as it differs in the later life as compared to the early adulthood. The multiple causes of mood disorders in elderly and some of the techniques to measure it have also been elaborated upon. Mood disorder. The DSM and ICD consists of multiple mental disorder, amongst which mood disorder is one. These are the mental disorders which consist of period of depression and in some cases the episode of mania. Definition. While many people go through sad or elated moods from time to time, people with mood disorders suffer from severe or prolonged mood states that disrupt their daily functioning. Among the general mood disorders classified in the 4th edition of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, or the DSM-4, are major depressive disorder, bipolar disorder and dysthymia. Depression. I am getting old and becoming weak day by day, and nobody cares about me or understands me. I forget everything, where I keep my spectacles or what day of the week it is, because every day seems like the same. I feel disgusted every day. Now I am just waiting for the call from heaven, as there is nothing to look forward. These are some of the statements made by the older adults. Depression, uselessness, hopelessness, loneliness and helplessness are considered to be inseparable with old age. These are some of the lines told by older adults. Elderly people start to have multiple physical health problems that leads to depression in many cases. Elderly may begin to experience recurrent mental health problems or may start having mental problems for the first time. Case definition of depression in older adults. The diagnosis of depression is not easy, as researchers to date have not found any biological markers for depressive episode in later life, though the biological correlates have been found. The classification is not easy, as the symptoms don't cluster easily into mutually exclusive categories. For example, there is overlap between the symptoms of anxiety and depression. Finally, the researchers and the clinicians do not agree as to what constitutes the clinical picture of depression in the later life. There is little difference in the clinical symptoms of depression in old age. Therefore, the case definition is as follows. Older adults must have at least one out of two basic symptoms, that is, depressed mood or lack of interest for 2 weeks or more. They are more likely to complain about the lack of interest rather than exhibiting the depressed mood. For the diagnosis of major depression, they must exhibit at least 4 of the following symptoms of more than that for the period of at least 2 weeks. Feelings of worthlessness, inappropriate guilt. Guilt is more frequent in younger adults rather than older adults. Diminished competency to make decisions or to concentrate. Though elderly people don't complain about the concentration or memory problems, but they show more positive results than the younger adults on psychological testing in the episode of depression. Fatigue, common to all in moderate to severe depression. Psychomotor agitation or retardation, older adults exhibit these symptoms: loss or gain of weight or appetite. Weight gain is rare, weight loss is more frequent, and if there is no biological reason found for weight loss of 3 pounds, then it is a cardinal symptom in older adults of depression. Recurrent thoughts of death or suicide. Older adults are less likely to express suicidal ideation. They may ruminate frequently about death in the middle or midst of the depression. Etiology of depression. There have been some differences between the elderly and the late onset of depression. Dysfunctional past marital relationship, a family history of psychiatric illness, and personality abnormalities are found to be common in early onset of depression. There is no difference between early and late depression in terms of the severity, phenomenology, history of previous episode, and neuropsychological performance. Biological. Medical illness is the basic characteristic for depression while discussing about the biological etiology among the elderly. There is an association of dementing disorder, patients of Parkinson's disease, hip fractures, and cardiovascular disease with depression. 21% meet the measures for minor depression and 20% meet it for major depression. Homebound elders, especially with urinary incontinence, are more prone to depression. Elderly are at a risk of developing other disorders within a span of 1 year if they are suffering from major depression and alcohol dependence. As indicated by a study done on elderly twins, hereditary late life depression demonstrated the impact of 16% change in the aggregate depression scores on the scale of CESD, the Center for Epidemiological Studies Depression Scale, and fundamentally 19% of somatic and psychosomatic complaints. Although the contribution of genes was slight to the variance in depression scores, yet the reason for depression, such as family history of depression, is predominant in the elderly. In a clinical study, the danger for immediate relatives of patients with depression whose onset happened after age 50 was 8.3% in contrast to 20.1% for relatives of patients whose onset happened at a more youthful age. Psychological. Another explanation has been suggested that there can be 3 aberrations as the cause of late life depression, that is, behavioral, psychodynamic, and cognitive. Examples are as follows. The increased passive behavior of dogs is a result of learned helplessness behavior provoked by shocks which are unavoidable. This can be used to explain the cycle of depressive symptoms. The depression is also associated with everyday life events that are harsh or stressful, which maintains the adverse stress behavior or depressive behavior. The negligence during childhood and emotional abuse have the high chances to be a reason for depression in elderly. Relational stress and difficulty bearing of major other during old age is also a serious cause of depression in elderly. In a meta-analysis, the correlation of total negative life events and daily stresses with depression in elderly people was high. The severe life events can be a major cause of first episode of depression, while mild events only can trigger the recurrent episode of depression, but may not be the reason for the first episode of depression. Once the behavior of depression is developed, stressors and simple mild events can lead to recurrent episodes of depression. Psychodynamic theory states that the inescapable losses of unavoidable losses in later life is irreversible, which can lead to depression-like syndrome, that is, depletion syndrome. When one lives long enough, multiple factors lead to affect both internal and external state. Factors like disease, body change, and inescapable destined object loss. Recent researchers also complement the existing theory of depletion, stating that the successful aging is a result of selective optimization with compensation. This model defines the perception of the elderly towards the realities of aging, especially the losses. These perceptions result in abandoning of credible activities, advancement of those activities, and remuneration for lost activities, which thus results in a transformed and reduced life. Cognitive distortion model is the most influential psychological model of depression. In a comparative case control study, the patient with salubrious control and dysthymic disorder perceived less significant negative impact of the life events than the patients of major depression. To understand this theory, we need to comprehend the perception of elderly towards life events. The distortion in the cognition of elderly leads to imaginary personalization, overgeneralization, and overreact in certain situation or event. The pessimistic interpersonal situation or events result in depression in elderly, more prominently in elderly who have shown high need for encouragement and approval in interpersonal relationships. The elderly who have placed emphasis on personal success and control suffer from depression when there are negative achievement events. This ideology doesn't deviate them from the diathesis stress model. That is, a negative experience predicts depression when personal vulnerability is affected by already existing events. Social. The association between late life depression and impaired social support has been recognized since many years. A community study of Hong Kong stated sodality between impaired social support and despondence, including network composition and size, social contact frequency, gratification of gregarious support, etc. The effect of impaired jovial support on despondence rate can be seen significantly high in older women, whereas considerably low in older men. The frequency of depressive disorders in female carers of demented elders reaches 45 to 47%. Also, they are twice as likely to use psychopharmaceutical drugs. A critical factor of melancholy among carers can be solitude. Some have attempted to combine the theory of convivial disengagement with aging with depression, though highly debated, which is suggestive of some symptoms of despondence such as lack of social interest and predominant self-involution. Further factors being equipotent, it is possible that elders who are not much convivially engaged are more dejected. For example, elders who ceased driving had a predominant risk of intensified depressive symptoms. Psychosocial adversity. The poor economic status and physical health, incapacitation, social isolation and relocation often result in adjustment disorder with depressive mood or elicit more austere depressive syndromes than previously present. Deliberate decisions to move or shift to another place can have a promising and favorable effect in contrast to forced relocation, which has a negative effect on morbidity and mortality. Carers of debilitated elderly are twice as likely to develop symptoms of depression as non-carers. This fraction may be higher since male carers and African American carers usually do not give complete account of the symptoms of depression. Apparently, depressive set of symptoms are highly possible to develop during enduring caregiving. almost a quarter of carers develop symptoms of depression following placement of elderly in a nursing home. These symptoms remain relatively constant over time in women but aggravate in men. 10 to 20% of surviving spouses develop symptoms of depression during the first year of grief and mourning, which generally endure if not given proper medical attention. Although rates of depression are similar in all ages, by the end of the second year, elderly are less likely to become depressed as compared to younger adults during the first months of widowhood. The depression intensifies during the second year of mourning, by the end of which 14% of the widowed face major depression as compared to 1 to 4% of the elderly. Irrefutably, certain psychological behaviors endow vulnerability to depression. For example, in one study, neuroticism predicted persistence of depression in primary care patients, even after the criticality of depression was controlled for. Moreover, a year later, negative thinking envisioned shaping of suicidal thoughts in elderly with major depression. Spiritual and existential. In a European study, both at an individual and national level, it was found that there are less chances of depression in the people associated with religious practice. This is true especially when traditional values have been incorporated in religious practices. Researchers suggested that the religious coping is related with improved physical health and emotional health. Researchers stated that religious coping was related with a decrease in certain types of depressive symptoms, feelings of worthlessness, including loss of interest, loss of hope, withdrawal from pleasant interactions, and other cognitive symptoms of depression. Religious coping was not associated with a reduction in somatic symptoms. Epidemiology. 1 to 4% of the general elderly population has major depression, equivalent to an incidence of 0.15% per year. Women are 2 times more likely to be affected than men. After age 70 to 85 years, there are high chances of both incidence and the prevalence of major depression. Simultaneously, the bipolar disorder is also growing in the older adults. Minor depression has a prevalence of 4 to 13%. Dysthymic disorder has low intensity symptoms of depression that can last for at least 2 years or longer. Only 2% of elderly people are affected by it. As compared to the middle-aged, an elderly person have scarce or less liable chance of having clinical symptoms of depression, the prevalence of which are about 8 to 16%, whereas it is more dominant or likely to occur in a very old person. A person with cognitive impairment and disability, decline in socio-economic status, women whose partner is dead but they have survived have high chances of getting affected with the symptoms of major depression. The people in medical setting have high prevalence than the people living within the community. The prevalence of major depression in the patients who are in primary care is about 6 to 9%. On the other hand, it increases to 10 to 12% in the patients who are admitted in the hospital. Bipolar mood disorder. Case definition. Bipolar mood disorder is also referred to as manic depression. It is characterized by shifts in energy levels, thinking pattern, and moods from high, that is mania, to low, that is depression, and vice versa. Bipolar disorders are more than just a fleeting good or bad mood. The cycle of mania and depression can last from days to months. The mood swings in bipolar disorders are very intense and compromise one's ability to function normally. Older adults with recurrent unipolar depression are less likely than younger adults to experience bipolar disorder. The symptoms are often atypical when the bipolar disorder occurs in later life. Another distinction is that the elderly with bipolar disorder may experience irritability rather than euphoria, anger rather than expansive thoughts of excessive spending, which may ultimately lead to dominate the clinical picture. Sometimes, racing thoughts are often misinterpreted as a problem with memory or information processing. Working with the family of older bipolar patients can often assist in identifying an episode early and adjusting medication so that the hospitalization can be avoided. Etiology. The cause of late onset bipolar disorder is diverse. In older patients, the disease is more likely to have a secondary, that is, a medical disorder or medication-induced cause compared to younger patients. Elderly patients with bipolar disorder normally require lithium dosage, that is 25% to 50% higher in younger individuals than the elderly ones. Information on the consumption of valproic acid, that is sodium valproate, in elderly patients with bipolar disorder is protected but inspiring. In contrast, there is nearly no information regarding the utilization of carbamazepine or other drugs in this patient group. Electroconvulsive therapy is well abhorred by older people and can be supplementary for patients. Because there is an expected increment of approximately 35% of individuals in the US aged 65 and above between 2000 and 2020, clinicians need to be prepared for a growing number of elderly psychiatric patients. In terms of clinical presentation, differential diagnosis, medication cull, treatment replication, and deleterious effects, psychiatric disorders are different in elderly patients than young adults. In contrast to the enormous number of published studies on bipolar disorder in adolescent and adult patients, there is a dearth of literature concerning the elderly patients. The treatment of late life bipolar disorder has been generalized from data obtained by the studies of patients of young age, digging up results from studies that included some patients of old age in the group and assembled information from small hysterical studies that involved older patients. Epidemiology. The prevalence of acute mania is less amongst the elderly, being much less than 1%. The area study identified that there was not any patient with mania in a sample of 923 elderly patients. Out of those who somehow developed the disorder, approximately 5% to 10% have mania or hypomania, and 0 to 5% of psychogeriatric patients hospitalized for acute conditions for bipolar disorder. The elderly patients who have bipolar disorder are primarily those with early onset disease who have reached senescence, though there are in addition some patients who have late onset disease. Women constitute a major portion of the older patients with bipolar disorder. The proportion of elderly men to elderly women with the illness has been reported to range from 1.5 to 1:2.3. However, the prevalence of hypomania and cyclothymia among the elderly is not very well known. Early versus late onset. The onset of bipolar disorder generally takes place in the course of adulthood, that is, the third decade of life. But it can also occur during the old age, though there is less likelihood. There are certain researches with reports that mania can occur during the 8th and the 9th decades also. The late onset of bipolar disorder have multiple definitions according to multiple studies, with the age of onset which can range from 30 to 50 years. The DSM-4 doesn't make such distinctions. In the cases where mania occurs during the late life for the first time in a heterogeneous condition with multiple causes, some patients have changes in polarity in later life. They became bipolar from being unipolar. The number of episodes per year appear to be similar between the elderly and the late onset groups of people. In this module, the focus has been more on late life depression rather than bipolar disorder because it occurs far more frequently than bipolar disorder in the late life. Summary. Studies indicate that the diagnosis of depression is not easy because of its overlapping symptoms with anxiety. Furthermore, there are multiple definitions of mood disorders, and in real life, the case definition of both bipolar and unipolar depression have some dissimilarity in contrast to DSM, that is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for Mental Disorders, and the ICD, that is the International Classification of Diseases. In this manual, we have focused upon the etiology of depression, which has multiple diagnoses including biological, psychological, social, psychosocial, and spiritual and existential. Biological studies indicate that depression in elderly is caused due to multiple biological illnesses. Other psychological, social, and psychosocial studies predict the high correlation of mental, social, interpersonal, and economic status with depression. Whereas spiritual and existential studies suggest that religious practices help in curbing depression. In contrast to depression, there is less likelihood of bipolar in the elderly as it occurs in the third decade, that is 30 to 50 years of age group. Therefore, this module has focused more on unipolar depression. Lastly, it can be noted that although studies addressing the phenomena of later life depression and bipolar disorder equip the researcher or the investigator with the authentic knowledge of the basis, characteristics, and comparison of later life mood disorder with early life mood disorder, but there do persist the individual and cultural differences which need to be taken into account since they influence the etiology and manifestation of mood disorders. Despite significant advances in our empirical understanding of the epidemiology, etiology, and diagnosis of later life depression, this topic requires further research.